let's open up PuTTY and see if we can get access to our router. So here we are on PuTTY using the rollover cable and the serial port now. If I do show access lists, we'll see my extended access list and we can see all the matches that we've got here. I did the experiment from 10.0.0.16 and 10.0.0.128. I have not tried anything from 10.0.0.17 yet. We can wrap up the demonstration and take a look at that device before we complete everything. So what I want to do though is I want to add a line to this access control list to allow me to SSH to my router. So if I do a config T and I say IP access list extended example 2, we have to make sure we get the names exactly right here or it's not going to work correctly. So we have example 2 as the name there, and I'm going to add a line here, and the line is going to say permit TCP host 10.0.0.16, my workstation, to go to host 10.0.0.1, the router, on port 22. So now what I've done is I've created a line in the access list that will allow me, theoretically, to SSH to the router. So let's open up another PuTTY window here, and I'm going to select SSH, and then do 10.0.0.1. And what should happen here is this should be rejected. It's just going to sit here. It will never ask me for a login prompt. And the reason for this is that my access lists, as we've talked about, are processed in order. So we'll leave this timeout. We're going to need a pop-up window in a little bit here saying that the network connection timed out. There it is. So we can close that window. Our access control list is written in order and it's processed in order. So if I go back to privilege mode and do a show access lists, when I do this, we see the line numbers in front of the access control list. This tells me the order in which the list is processed. And before I have this line that's permitting me to SSH from my workstation to the router, I have this line before it that says deny that traffic. So when I'm processing through this list, my traffic is actually getting denied before it gets allowed. Well, there's a nice mechanism to add in a line into the access control list before our deny any statement. That way we can allow extra traffic when we need to. So we go back to configuration mode and I say IP access list extended again. And then I give it the name example 2. And here we're going to say no, and then all I have to do is tell it the line number to get rid of. All right, so I say no 50. And what that'll do now, do show access lists, is it will remove that last line of my access control list. Well, what I can do now is I can actually add in that line before my last line. And what I do there is I just give it the line number that I want to add. So I'm going to say 35 here. And what that'll do is it'll add my access control list rule after line 30 and before line 40. So now all I have to do is copy the same rule that I made here and paste it. And we hit enter. And now when I do show access lists, we'll see that the line 35 here is going to allow my workstation to now SSH to the router. So now if I open up another PuTTY session, choose SSH to 10.0.0.1, now it's giving me a login prompt where I can actually log in. We can do show run, right? We can now use SSH to connect to our device. If I do a show access lists here, now we'll see that that line of my access list got hit with a whole bunch of matches, 330 of them, meaning that I have sent 330 messages from my workstation to the router to get access to SSH here.